I envision a sustainable Philippines? Well, I think it all starts with a more conscious citizenry, where people are more conscious about how they eat, how they buy, and how nothing should go to waste. I think when we start with a mindset like that, then we can have a more sustainable Philippines.
A sustainable Philippines is our beloved country flourishing as God intended it to be. Its people are happy, content, progressive, and conscious of their responsibility as good citizens and consumers. Industries protect and respect their workers, as workers protect and respect their employers. Our natural resources are not abused by industry. Instead, they are used wisely and thoughtfully, and even protected so that future generations may have the benefit of enjoying an environment that is hospitable, healthy, lush, verdant, and vibrant, with the flora and fauna that will set it apart from other Asian countries.
A country where individuals and organizations make intentional, responsible consumption and production every single time, where all cities are sustainable and communities meet their own goals without compromising future generations to meet their own needs.
I hope and envision for a sustainable community, whereas people of our country share a common purpose, and that is to acknowledge our future without reducing the resources that maintain them. Let us continue to promote, educate, and share with everyone how to better understand and embrace a sustainable living.
I hope for a sustainable Philippines wherein everybody has jobs, there is no poverty, we have responsible government, there is clean environment, and everybody believes in God.
A sustainable Philippines is grounded on life-focused, Bible-centric values that transcends the future generations.
A sustainable Philippines fosters development through human perspective in rights reform, greener environmental considerations, agribusiness partnerships, and strengthens to empower the integrated ecosystem, making impact to the people.
Hello. I envision a sustainable Philippines where we have a clean environment, not only outdoors or in our cities, but also in our workplaces.
I am Gabby Avante, a biology sophomore from DLSC Manila, and I envision a Philippines that is aware, educated, and willing to take action to pursue a sustainable society for all.
I hope for a sustainable Philippines to get to the point where we ensure ecological integrity, clean and healthy environment, where we expand economic opportunities in agriculture, fishery and forestry, and when we ensure a people-centered, clean and efficient governance. I think this is how I envision sustainable Philippines.
Hello, I am Macario SD1, an undergraduate student of De La Salle University, Manila. And I envision a sustainable Philippines where every Filipino is responsible enough to take a stand and to take action on the current state and the future fate of our country, particularly the environment and its people. I envision a sustainable Philippines where every Filipino is walking on the same path and working on the same goal, to nourish the environment and make this world a better place, not just for our own generation, but more especially for the generations to come.
A nation that is willing to work with nature to create a brighter future.
A sustainable Philippines is when every Filipino works for the good of the country, economically, socially, and environmentally, making it a better place to live in forever.
A sustainable Philippines will mean self-sufficiency in food, clean energy, and clean potable water everywhere. Plastic production, usage, and disposal will be better handled. Pollution will be at levels that do not adversely affect the health of people, animals, and plants. Lastly, the government will truly be focused on the needs of the people in all respects so that there is less waste in fuel, time, and health.
I would like to see sustainable PH catalyze a movement of responsible stewards who conserve and preserve the rich natural resources of the Philippines so that every Filipino can have access to basic human needs of food, clothing, and shelter, so that every Filipino can have an equal opportunity to thrive and flourish in his own country, because we are Sustainable PH.
My future vision for a sustainable Philippines is that we can create loads of new jobs and a great economy from healing the planet, and the opportunity for our children to breathe clean air, have clean and fresh water, and harmony with nature.
I hope for a sustainable Philippines where everyone can have access to basic services like quality education and healthcare, and also enjoy clean air and environment, live in sustainable cities, and have decent jobs, and be protected by justice.
Hello everyone! Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Happy Saturday sa ating lahat and sa ating mga viewers dyan. Good evening. No? I hope na you are at your comfort, no, sa inyong mga tahanan. Hi, Mai!
Good evening, Marks. Napaka-lively talaga ng Saturday evenings ko because of you.
That's true. No? So, kamusta naman ang ating mga viewers? No? So, ayan, if you... we're excited actually to be with you again this Saturday. So if you have any questions or comments you want to shout out, no, you just comment below to our live video, no, via Facebook account of Sustainable PH, and please use #SustainablePH.org, #SustainablePH, and #Sustainabuzz.
Right. So, good evening. Di pa tayo nagpapakilala ulit for our first-time viewers. So, hi everyone. I am Marimar. Marimar walang aw, so Mai na lang for short, your sustainability practitioner.
And I am Marxis Astudillo, or Marx for short. You can call us Eminem, a numbers guy by profession, but a sustainability advocate by heart. And we are the hosts of Sustainabuzz, your monthly buzz in exploring the sustainability world.
That's right. We'll keep you in the loop for the latest sustainability topics all around the world, especially in the Philippines.
Yes, that's right, That's right, Mai, no, that our show will be the platform to discuss relevant issues in sustainability through experiences and knowledge of sustainability leaders, advocates, and professionals.
Correct. So actually today, very exciting yung ating episode. So for sure, nakita na ng viewers natin yung ating mga posters, no? We're going to talk about sustainability as a profession. So years back, I think sustainability is as vague as it can get. So when people used to ask me, anong ginagawa mo? And they ask me, parang, pag sinabi kong sustainability, sasabihin nila, ano yun? Or like, what do you do? So I think today, right now, we're in more and more people, Filipinos, are becoming aware of the need for more systemic action. And we're sobrang clear that climate change is real, poverty is still rampant, inequality is still there. All the more na we are, mas nagiging clear na what a sustainability profession looks at. And I think today we have very special guests, no, na who can let us know parang ano ba yung ginagawa ng sustainability profession niyan. So I think right now, years later compared to years later, when people ask, anong ginagawa mo sa sustainability? Baka mas clear na yung ating maging answer.
Yeah.
So bakit ba naging important tong sustainability, especially now, no?
Yes, no. Especially the millennials or the Gen Z tayo, no. Parang we always look for a job or a work which is socially conscious. We want na
That's
to
true.
pursue careers that have purpose, align with our passions. Personally, this episode is very close to our hearts because
Truly.
we also are sustainability practitioners.
Oo nga, Marks, di ba ikaw you're an accountant? Paano ka napunta sa sustainability? I think wala pa naman degree nun on green accounting eh.
Yes, wala pang I don't know when I was in college, I don't know what sustainability is, no. Parang puro debit credit lang ako. So it's really a big shift, but I studied and learned a lot about sustainability and aligned my academic background, no, in sustainability field. So I think yon, no, a big shift pero nakakatuwa kasi nandun yung passion and purpose pa rin in your work.
Wow, correct. What a journey, no? From accounting to sustainability work. And I'm sure na-apply mo yung mga natutunan mo pa rin sa accounting into sustainability.
Yes.
How about our viewers who are also watching right now? If you're also a practitioner, so you're a very small but growing community. You may also share your journey in the comment section. Feel free to introduce yourself, and of course, we'd love to meet you. Kasi tonight is a very special episode for you and for our growing community. Kasi today, we're gonna know more about what it means and what it takes to practice sustainability, especially in the country, with our young sustainability leaders. So without further ado, let's welcome our guests for tonight, Shawntel, Abby, and Monique from the Society of Sustainability Practitioners Philippines. Palakpak naman! Ayan. So, asa na sila?
Welcome. Sabay-sabay natin silang warm welcome. Ayan.
Sige, ayan.
Hi!
Ayan, good evening.
Hintayin lang natin sila.
Hi, Shawntel. Hi, Abby. Hi, Monique.
Monique. Yes, girl power.
Yes, oo nga. No? Sakto, nasa gitna pa naman ako. So to start our discussion, can you give a simple introduction about you and your organization, and how did you start your journey as a sustainability practitioner? Sige. Yan, huwag kayong mag-unahan.
Dahil unang lumabas si Shawntel, siya na yung una mag-share. Hi,
Okay, so
Shawntel.
hi guys. Hi Mai, hi Mark. Thank you so much for having us here. So my name is Shawntel Nieto. I really started my sustainability journey way back in 2015. So it was because of the need to provide communities with electricity and water. So my sustainability journey really started when my friends and I co-founded the social enterprise we called BMB Solutions. And through our work in BMB, as we were striving to provide communities with electricity and water, we caught on support and attention from a myriad of institutions and organizations, one of which was our home university back then, the Ateneo. So my co-founders and I were invited to continue on in our journey while taking a master's in sustainability management. And about that time, before my undergrad graduation, I was about 2 years into social entrepreneurship, and I already saw how much more there needed to be done with our systems, our processes, and our ways of life. So I thought of really pursuing this master's degree so I could increase my skills and my knowledge, and in effect, the kind of work I can do to improve society and this world in general. So I wanted to be able to, integrate or use sustainability in order to positively impact people and the planet, both on a communal level, similar to what we were doing back then with BMB, but also on a systemic level, which is what I strive to do now with Sustain a Rumble, with the Society of Sustainability Practitioners, and with all my different advocacy works inside and outside the country.
Right. Thank you, Shawntel. So, your sustainability for social impact. So, Shawntel
Yes.
here created that Sustain a Rumble, which is a podcast, right? So,
Yes,
tune
yes.
in. So, also in Sustainable PH. So, thank you, Shawntel. And she also pursued her master's in sustainability. So, maybe next, Nick, can you introduce yourself and what are you doing right now?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me as well. I am Monique, and I am an instructor at the John Gokong Ray School of Management in the Ateneo. This is where I work on research projects such as social entrepreneurship and business continuity management. And same as with Shawntel, I also finished my sustainability management in this university. With regards to my academic background, I am actually an accountant, which actually served as my first work in a multinational company. And in there, I thought of incorporating sustainability in the field and in company. So currently, I start with the systems thinking tools to hopefully achieve this.
Wow.
Wow, accountant din, tapos
Yes,
from the
oo.
academic sector naman. Nakarelate ka ba doon, Marks?
Oo, no. So, actually, 'di ba, from a big shift din talaga sa career, no, from accounting to sustainability and almost aligned din naman with standards and all. So, exciting. How about you, Abby?
Hi, good evening everyone. So I'm Abby Bonita. So currently, I'm working at Manila Electric Company or Meralco as the head of sustainability reporting and compliance. So basically, my job is on sustainability reporting. So to those viewers natin na hindi pa alam what is a sustainability report, it's similar to a financial report of an organization but focuses more on the environmental and social performance. Hindi lang financial, but including your social and environmental performance of an organization. So, mine naman, I think I started my career talaga as a sustainability consultant. So yung first full-time job ko is as a sustainability associate for a sustainability reporting consultancy company way back in 2013. And then thereon, nag-start na yung parang pursue ko talaga for sustainability. But expanding it not just on the reporting side, but embedding sustainability in the business and programs. So,
Wow. Thank you,
That's
Abby. So, Abby
exciting.
naman is from the private sector. So, we have a very diverse guests
Yeah.
today. So we have Shawntel from the impact sector, si Monique from the academe, and si Abby from the business sector. So, you'd find no, na sustainability practitioners, hindi siya nalilimit to a certain sector. And I think that's the beauty of the of the profession. Right? So let's go ahead with our more deep dive questions. Ito
Yeah.
yung mga usual questions na
Oo.
for sure
Pang
na
Miss
encounter
Universe
nyo.
question.
Para I'm sure makaka-relate ang ating viewers here. So, first question na we wanted to ask you, Sana. What are the common misconceptions of people about your work? So, when people ask, what do you do? And you say sustainability, ano yung usual idea nila of it? And how do you respond? So maybe we can start with, siguro Shawntel can share what are your usual misconceptions?
I think a lot of the misconceptions about my work involve the misconceptions people have on sustainability in general. So for the most part, I've seen that people either see sustainability either as something that's too complex or costly to understand and implement, or to I don't know, it's that or that it's a simple add-on to processes and systems that will lead companies to either bleed or lose profit for the sake of charity and good work. So I think a lot of people, when they think of a sustainability practitioner, they say, "Oh yes, I'm sorry, did you guys lose me there? Hello, am I back now?
Yes, you're back. Yes.
Yes.
Am I back? Oh, okay, yes.
You're clear.
So ganun lang, parang yun, mga tao nalolost din sila, di ba? Parang naguguluhan sila, am I here, am I not? Because they see sustainability as something that is new, and so it's scary. So when they think of a sustainability practitioner, they think either, oh, walang pera dyan, it's not that lucrative a career. Because they think you can't make money out of something good or out of doing good. But in fact, that's not the case. Marx and I run a column on Sustainable PH called Eureka, showcasing how the principles of sustainability themselves can be used to add value to your current business model value proposition. And in a sense, bring not only revenues and profit into your company, but also positive impact to the communities, the environment, and overall industry you're in. So I think for the most part, when people say it's not that lucrative, it actually really is. You only really have to practice it properly. And the second misconception is that, again, it's all for good works. Like, oh, you're so nice, you're doing a good job. But they think it's cute, but really, it is good, and we're really doing it. I think for the most part because there's a seed of, I don't know, hope and desire to change things. But at the same time, it's also a very serious field that is driven, scientifically driven, that is organized, structured, systemic, and that can actually lead to structural changes all throughout. So it's not just good work, but it's actual systemic changes that influence the way organizations, industries, and people live, and in a sense affect everything else.
Right. Perfectly. Well said talaga, Shawntel. No? So it's really, parang usual misconception is CSR lang siya or good works lang siya, costly siya. Pero actually, to your point, no, it's really sustainability can drive revenues, can drive profits and competitive advantage. So yeah, anything else from si Abby nakangiti kanina tsaka si Monique. So do you want to add to what Shawntel said about the common misconceptions that i-bust natin ang myth na yan?
Well, I think in addition to Chantel's point earlier, ako kasi galing ako sa business sector. So I think people I agree people have a misconception that it's about CSR, environmental initiatives, but really if organizations see the value of sustainability, sobrang it can create a great impact. Kasi for me, I believe that private sector, especially corporations who recognize that sustainability make business sense, it can create greater value to their stakeholders. Like for example, yung mga corporations, they have thousand of employees, they have thousand of suppliers. If you recognize your role as a purposeful corporations or organization, ang laki ang dami ng reach mo. So given your immediate stakeholder pa lang, you can create change. You can make the world a better place.
Yes, I really agree on that, no. Actually, yun talaga yung basic misconception ng mga tao that sustainability is about taking care of environment. Well, it's part, no, like it's tree planting, waste management, but sustainability is really a 360 degree, no. So what are the social impact, then community impact, even the financial impact of all the activities of even the business operation in our private sector.
Correct. Yan. Sige. So, apart from that, no, so since we're done with the misconception, so usually naman, alam ko, sustainability, the profession is kind of difficult kasi bago lang siya, emerging siya. What are some of the challenges you face and how do you try to overcome these barriers? So, any volunteers to answer? So, maybe Monique or Abby?
Yeah, I can go first.
Sige.
Sa akin, what I see is that one of the challenges in terms of sustainability is to be able to get people to articulate their worldviews and share with each other in a healthy debate to come up with sustainable solutions. So I think no one person can see the whole of a human environment system, and that no one person can see the whole picture. That is why there is a need for dialogues and collaboration.
Right. Totoo yun. No? Tama si Monique. You can only see so much as a practitioner. So I guess you stress the importance of having a dialogue with other stakeholders, other people. And a lot of times, sustainability challenge are so big, climate change is so big, poverty is so big. Diba? And so anything else apart from that challenge for us a profession?
Yes.
No, I'll definitely build on what Monique said about how in this field, because it's a very wicked field, we say wicked because there's so many interconnected factors. It's hard, it can be difficult to get people in, but and get people to listen to and work with one another, because as Monique said, there are different worldviews. Like each organization or sector has their own way of doing things. But sustainability is about bringing them all together. so you can learn with each other, co-create with one another, and in a sense, create a more holistic solution that actually gets to the root of the problems, not just the symptoms of the problem. So it can be difficult sometimes, especially to get people on board with your vision. But once you're in it, you see that the ball just keeps rolling and you get more and more people. Because I think that's what's nice about this space as well. It can be small, but it's tight knit. And usually when you're in it, you know the people in it and you can find ways to collaborate with one another. And in and by itself, it helps each and every one elevate their own work and impact.
Right. Thank you, Shawntel. How about you, Abby? I think you also want to add something.
Yep, I think to echo Monique's and Chantel's point, based on my experience coming from outside and getting into organization and then teaching employees what is sustainability, especially if meron kang may mga programs ka na binibenta sa kanila, it's hard. So I think I just want to share yung learning ko given that point na sometimes yung bitbit kasi natin is sustainability theories and concepts. And then when we go to each subsidiaries, line organizations, they know sustainability, pero they don't label it as such. For
Yes.
example, marami na silang mga bucket of activities, bucket of projects that us as practitioners, we need to learn. I learned it the hard way. We have to learn yung humility to learn from them based on experience, based on practical application of that concept. Kasi minsan kapag doon hindi nagmi-meet yung minds ng mga tao, and then kaya minsan we have a tendency na, big word, sustainability. Ayaw na nila tayo kapag gano'n.
Takot na sila, gano'n.
Takot na sila, ayaw na sila. Parang, ang haba ng presentation niya, GRI standards, ganyan. But I think yun, we have to learn to express the concepts into yung language nila, yung practical application of that concept. Especially tayo, I think, makaka-relate dito si Marks and Mai. Usually, we refer to international standards. So as we have to process it with local insights, local application of that concept para mas ma-appreciate ng mga tao, mas ma-appreciate ng mga empleyado, mas ma-appreciate ng mga bosses natin na, okay, ito pala yun, ito lang pala yung ibig niyang sabihin. So, yun.
Right. So thank you, Abby.
Yes, actually I agree talaga, no, the challenges is really to let people appreciate what sustainability is, no. So to embrace the mindset of being sustainable in business operation, even in our lifestyle. So the demand of sustainability ngayon sa current generation natin medyo malaki. So we have to increase our roles, no, our activities and even our advocacy to let people know the importance of sustainability in our society. So do you think what is the role of the young sustainability practitioners, no, in pursuing sustainable development or even achieving our global goals? Maybe based on your personal experience, no, what are the roles of our younger sustainability practitioners, especially now COVID, no, especially pandemic? Sige.
You know, I interviewed this person from the Ellen MacArthur Foundation a couple of months back. Then I asked him a similar question. I said, a lot of people think that because we're young, we're incapable. Sabi nga ni Taylor Swift, diba? Because when you are young, they assume you know nothing. So, ano tawag dito? I said, how do we go with that? And then he said, because you're young and because it's true that perhaps you do lack experience and practical knowledge or industry knowledge, that in and by itself is an advantage. Because sustainability and sustainable development is about understanding what goes inside, but also understanding what more it can become. It's about seeing what else can there be. And if you're coming in with fresh eyes, but with a desire to change things, with a sense of critical thinking to really assess how we can improve certain things, how we can reinvent and reimagine systems now, then I think that in and by itself is a really important and critical role young practitioners can really play, because they're going to come in with fresh eyes, fresh minds, really looking, they're going to come in really looking for what they can change within the system. And if they have the energy and the passion to push through with it, but while at the same time, as Abby said, the humility to listen and to learn from the actual people on the ground, then we could together create even better systems that encompass what we're doing now, and solutions that perhaps are more holistic and are more rooted in the actual root causes of the problem. So for me, I think that is the role of young sustainability practitioners. It's to see with fresh eyes, to critique what they can, and to drive this initiative forward. Sustainability in and by itself, especially in today's modern society, is a relatively new field. So we still need people to continue the race that has been started by our bosses, by our experts. We need those legacy holders to continue on and to also guide even more new incoming practitioners in. So I think those two are the major roles of young sustainability practitioners today.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you, Shawntel. Anything to add? So, what else? Actually, sobrang true no na yung young practitioners have this fresh eyes to build on something na existing na, to continue the legacy, but also to introduce like innovations to the table. Diba? So, anything else to add to that, Monique or Abby?
I'd like to pick up yung sinabi ni Shawntel kanina about energy. Ako, na-experience ko yon. I have conversations with much senior managers or officers from me. And ang na-realize ko is, hindi naman sa ayaw nilang gawin, hindi naman sa ayaw nilang magkaroon ng pagbabago. Nagkataon lang na iba na yung season ng buhay nila. So for us, parang tayo yung may tayo yung may energy to really pursue. And of course, definitely may dadating din tayo dun sa season natin na may shift of priorities, pero yung heart natin nandun pa rin. So I think maganda yung point ni Shawntel kanina about yung mga young professionals, i-push nyo hanggang saan nyo kaya. Kasi hindi laging, you won't have that same energy all throughout your career. So, as much as you can, push it. I mean, lahat ng mga sa tingin nyo na pwede pang gawin, pwedeng baguhin, go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
I super love the
Abby,
energy.
no?
Yeah.
Yes. Dahil sinabi na ni Abby na yung as much as possible yung kaya nating gawin, makiisa tayo sa iba't ibang advocacy. And today, we celebrate International Volunteer Day.
Right.
So, it's a perfect timing, no? Na a first step to do is to volunteer, no? Kahit saan organization, maybe in the government programs, business programs, so community programs, as long as it creates impact, no, for achieving sustainability goals, do it, no, volunteer. No? Perfect tayo sa International Volunteer Day.
Right. And we have the most energy nga talaga. So, we cannot emphasize it so much, diba? Parang yung role ng young practitioners in really pushing talaga, para pushing it more as long as we can. And given that, no, parang of course, you have limited energy as well. And we need to conserve also energy. And mahaba pa yung ating journey as sustainability practitioners. Mahaba pa yung tatahakin ng Philippines eh. And we're here for that. What do you think helped you in your journey as practitioners? Parang from then to now, or at least what do you think are factors that have been helping you as practitioners currently? Given that we're young, we still have a lot to learn. It would be good to share to our viewers na parang what things help you so that they also have an understanding, if I want to be a practitioner, parang ito yung mga kailangan kong tools. Kasi ito yung mga sinabi ng ating guests today. So maybe everyone can share like what tips and tricks help you in your career. So maybe we can start with Monique.
Okay, so later I'll build on some of the concepts that they have mentioned earlier. But regarding with the what built on my career as well, aside from the knowledge that I gained from my master's studies, I actually consider my mentors and advisors in the Ateneo for sharing for as instrumental in my career. And I guess part of it is because of their deep knowledge, commitment, and guidance. And they really inspired me to reflect deeper and apply sustainability in a sense in not just in the career but also on myself. And aside from them, you really have to leave I mean, when you're studying, of course, you have all of the concepts and theories, pero you have to really apply it on yourself para maging model ka din. So, siguro on my own, I decided then to not really go 100% zero waste or let's say vegetarian, but I try to take some steps so that I can manage my footprint or at least deal with those things na I see affecting the environment around me.
Yes. How
And
about you? I go.
yes, go ahead. Later, I'll just add later.
Yes. How about you, Abby? What
Ako,
helped you in career as sustainability?
ako agree on sobrang swerte ko kasi early on my career, I have mentors on sustainability. Ito yung mga naging sustainability leaders ahead of us who really believed and champion sustainability for the longest time. Kaya ayun, sobrang swerte ko with mentors. And aside from that, I have former and current corporate bosses who really believes in me, who trusted me with great projects on sustainability. Um, and lastly, I think yung pagkakaroon ko ng mindset na in terms of sustainability, walang mawawala sa'yo if you pursue it, if you learn from it lagi. So I think yun. I think aside from mentors and aside from bosses, I think within you, you should have yung mindset na you're open with learning kasi again as you mentioned earlier, it's an evolving profession, so wala siyang bible na sinusunod, so you have to be updated every time, as in every day, every hour may mga bagong information, so I think yun yung important.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree
and
on
I
that.
think
Actually, yeah. So one of our comments from Dave De Villas, no? Hello, it's indeed refreshing to see you all here, the next generation of Filipino sustainability practitioner. There is hope. I agree. So sabi nga ni Abby, no, we have to learn from our leaders, from our bosses or mentors, and just be open to different learnings na pwede nating makuha sa kanila. Like from Sir Dave De Villas. Yes, Shawntel?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna build on everything Monique and Abby said. I cannot emphasize enough the role of a community of people that support you, and it doesn't have to be an actual community. In fact, it's just a combination of all of these different people who choose to believe in you and to support you, but also people who, whether they know it or not, inspire you to keep going. I think for the most part, especially pursuing a career in sustainability and sustainable development, it starts with your values and in what you believe in and in what you want to change or see in this world, regardless of what sector you're in. So it's really helpful to have people who help you reflect on that, who help you understand it, while at the same time having people that you can use as role models, as mentors, as guides, while you, I guess, figure things out and work your way through it. So it's really a team effort. As they say, it takes a whole barangay to, I don't know, to make whatever. But whatever that is, it includes making a sustainability practitioner who is very passionate but also very effective in his or her role. At the same time, of course, what's been very helpful are the various opportunities present both locally and internationally that allow that allow me to, as Abby said, update my knowledge base. So sustainability, as she said, is evolving as a field. So you have to keep yourself updated on new innovations, theories, but also practices, and how you could best localize these practices to fit your own setting. So it's very helpful that there are lots of different opportunities that could help me build my skills, build my knowledge, change my perspective, and in a sense, be a more effective sustainability practitioner in the long run.
Right. Thank you, Shawntel. So it's
Thank you,
to sum up,
Shawntel.
no, it's really having the mentorship, community, and the opportunities to actually continue learning. So we have a
True.
question from Dave De Villes here. Speaking of mentors, I have a question. If you were to reverse mentor the older sustainability practitioners today, what is the one key takeaway you'd like for them to learn from you? So since we're talking about having mentors, they also learn from us. So,
Yes.
since Dave is also a seasoned practitioner, so he's also a mentor. Perhaps he wants to learn from the younger
The
generation.
generation. That's true, no? Oo
Pang
nga,
Miss
no?
Universe ang question.
Oh. Sige. Huwag tayong mag-unahan.
Sir, kasi the thing is si Sir Dave, sobrang galing na. So iniisip ko, ano pa ba hindi alam ni Sir Dave? Feeling ko lahat alam eh. But I guess in terms of getting inspiration from the younger generation, it would be, I don't know, it definitely won't be generalized for everyone. But I think it would be a sense of urgency to act. So I think what can set the younger generation apart from older generations is the emergence of a lot of social issues and environmental issues that threaten humanity in general. So while growing up, you already are made aware of the immediacy by which we need to act. And so I think that's one thing that we could reverse mentor the senior practitioners with. It's the need to act more urgently and perhaps drastically, and of the possibility by which we can do so. I think with the pandemic, we saw just how quickly we can change systems. We can go on lockdowns, we can shut operations down if we actually wanted to, which a couple of months back was unimaginable for perhaps 99% of the population, but we see it happening. And I think the younger generation acknowledges it the most, especially as an opportunity, and not necessarily as a threat. So I think this kind of idealism, crazy idealism and optimism that is coupled with an immediate sense of urgency to address things is something we hope we could inculcate with more stable, conservative, and I guess, just like free floating seasoned practitioners and bosses.
Right. Thank you, Shawntel. So anything else to add, Abby or Monique? What do you want our seasoned mentors to learn from you as the young?
I think yung sa atin, kasi parang between us five, yung value ng collaboration. I think I'm not speaking against any generations, pero medyo competitive kasi sila, especially on the business side. Ako lang to ha, hindi to official statement, pero I think
Use your own.
this is in my own opinion. Especially in the business industry, masyado siyang competitive. And I think yung sustainability is not about competition, but more of collaboration. So I think, especially now, I think this is the best time to break the silos and really, really, truly work together. I mean, share the responsibility, share the action. Kasi, yun nga, yung na-mention nyo kanina, poverty is a big problem. Hindi naman kayang isolve ng isang organization. And hindi siya kayang isolve ng isang organization. So I think very important yung collaboration.
Right. So collaboration, the urgency to act. So how about you, Monique?
I think capacity, or at least yung having a sense of community and building on each other's capacity, especially I guess the younger generations, mas sila, attached sila on community. And tayo yun,
Right, right. Na-feel ko yun.
Oo.
And through our community, actually, we have output. Hindi naman siya community na puro kwentuhan or fellowship lang. But we actually talk about issues and we build on each other's knowledge. Kaya we have outputs at the end of the day. And I think the seasoned practitioners can learn from that. Na through community and networking, there is actually output in na as a result. And I see that actually in our class na they are younger than me, but they have very innovative ideas. And in a way, they are now mas inclined sila in incorporating sustainability in strategies, not just putting kumbaga hindi lang siya as a separate unit in a company, but when they're given the opportunity to propose or to set maybe an activity or an event in their business or in their companies, they actually have in mind how to incorporate sustainability in this event. Hindi na siya yung, hayaan na lang natin yung sustainability department to think about those things, or kung sino yung nagre-report, sila na lang yung mag-isip kung ano yung kailangan gawin para maayos yung reporting natin. But in sila as an individual, they see it that way already, that we have to incorporate sustainability. Hindi yung hayaan natin kung sino lang yung naka-assign on that to think of ways how to do it.
Yes, no. Speaking of community, speaking of building capacity, I think this is the best time, to plug our community, to the viewers, to the people. And can you share something about our community, the Society of Sustainability Practitioners?
Okay, so thank you for that, Mark. So actually, each and every person in this room right now is a co-founder of the Society of Sustainability Practitioners. Mr. Dave, right there, who gave us that extremely difficult question, is one of our board of advisors. So, as a member of our board of advisors. So, what we wanted was to create a society that could convene different practitioners from different aspects and sectors, similar to sort of what we've done here. We have, of course, the private corporate sector, we have the academe, we have the impact sector, whom in and by their own ways contribute to sustainability and sustainable development. And so what we wanted to do was to bring the practitioners together in an organization that allows them to discuss with one another, talk with one another, meet one another, support one another, mentor one another, so that in a sense they could find ways to collaborate, share best practices, and overall just elevate and catalyze each other's work, regardless if they're, again, in corporate or in government or in the academe. We also will be offering various programs and training opportunities for the practitioners. So apart from really cultivating this community, this society, we want to capacitate and increase each and every member's skills and knowledge, to constantly update them. As Abby said, sustainability is an evolving field, so we have to constantly update ourselves with our knowledge and skills. And we want to support, and in doing so, we want to support one another in our own work, so that together we could create a more sustainable Philippines and society for each and every generation, now and in the future. And if you're very willing, if you're very excited and are, of course, interested in joining the Society of Sustainability Practitioners, we are actually opening our Facebook community this coming weekend. But registrations are already open. So currently, membership is on an invite basis. But if you are very interested in becoming a member of the society, feel more than free to message any of us or to visit our landing page on the Sustainable PH website or our Facebook community, which will be linked. in this video. And in the Sustainable PH website, you can fill up the application form, tell us why you'd want to join the society, and we'll have the evaluation committee hopefully admit you into the society. So again, we are launching our community this coming weekend, and we would absolutely love to have you on board so that together we can create again a more sustainable Philippines.
Wow, sobrang exciting naman ang community na to. Na I think we're all part of, right? So thank you so much, Shawntel, for that. So stay tuned for more announcements on how you guys, how our viewers can join the community. If you know any of us, feel free to message us lang. If you don't know any of us, check out our page, the Sustainable PH website. So with that, thank you so much to our special guests, Shawntel, Abby, and Monique. Round of applause for everyone. So thank you guys. That's all the time we have right now. So we're really happy to share this time with you. And in the meantime, for our viewers, please stay tuned at Sustainable PH for the Green Man podcast. So, Marks, what's with the next show for Sustainable PH?
Yes. For the Green Man podcast, no, catch Miss Earth 2017, Karen Ibasco on the Green Man show later on 8 p.m. That's live.
Right. And it's Christmas time na pala. Happy Christmas to all of us.
Happy Christmas!
December, bilis, no? So actually, we have an announcement to make. So our next episode will already be next year. Pero before we end, thank you to everyone who's been part of our first episodes. To our prod team especially. So sila yung mga behind the scenes namin. Hello, Sustainable PH team. Ayan. So, stay tuned. Of course, we won't disappear. Huwag kayo mag-alala. So, thank you so much for watching our second episode.
Yes, thank you so much. See you next time.
See you.